a public holiday celebration. It's supposed to be a time of joy, community, and peace. You're surrounded by families, music is playing, and there's a feeling of safety in the air. But what if that feeling of safety is a complete illusion? What if, in a matter of seconds, the sounds of celebration are replaced by the sounds of gunfire, and the festive lights are overshadowed by the flashes of a muzzle? This is the story of a community that came together to celebrate a festival of lights, and found themselves plunged into darkness by an act of terror that would become the deadliest in their country's history. Bondi Beach in Australia. It's famous for its beautiful sand and surf, but the area is also the heart of one of the largest Jewish communities in the country. In December of 2025, that community was already on edge. Tensions had been high for months, and the national terrorism threat level had been officially raised from possible to probable. On the evening of December 14th, nearly 1,000 people gathered in a park near the beach for a public Hanukkah celebration called Hanukkah by the Sea. And, at around 6:47 p.m, that probable threat became a horrific reality. Two men, dressed entirely in black, walked onto a footbridge overlooking the celebration and opened fire. They were armed with high-powered rifles and shotguns. In just the first few moments, they fired around 50 shots into the crowd. Police would later confirm it was a terrorist attack, specifically targeting the Jewish community. But in the middle of that chaos, something incredible happened. An unarmed man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, an asylum seeker from Syria, saw what was happening. He began moving methodically between parked cars, using them for cover as he got closer to the gunman. He then tackled one of them from behind, wrestling with him and seizing his weapon, forcing the attacker to retreat. That single, unbelievable act of bravery broke the momentum of the attack and gave people precious seconds to escape.
Oh! C'est un malade! Oh mon gros! Oh! Ouais, mais il y a son pote, il va se faire tirer dessus! Il est trop con le mec qui a l'arme!
Shortly after, a police officer arrived, took cover behind a tree, and engaged the gunman. When the shooting finally stopped, one of the attackers, a 50-year-old man named Sajid Akram, was dead. His 24-year-old son, Navid Akram, was critically wounded. In total, the father and son had fired 103 rounds into the crowd. The human cost was devastating. 15 innocent people were killed, and 43 more were injured. The victims ranged in age from a 10-year-old girl named Matilda to an 87-year-old man. Among them was Alex Kleitman, a Holocaust survivor who was killed while shielding his wife from the bullets. Two respected community leaders, Rabbi Eli Schlanger and Rabbi Yaakov Levitan, were also among the dead. It was the deadliest terror attack in Australia's history. And when police searched the attacker's car, they found something that showed the night was intended to be even worse. 2 improvised explosive devices, with a third bomb found nearby. The investigation immediately focused on the father and son. Authorities confirmed their motive was anti-Semitism, inspired by the Islamic State. Inside their car, police found ISIS flags and a formal pledge of allegiance to the terror group. But then, investigators uncovered a shocking and deeply disturbing fact, a paradox that would shake Australia to its core. Sajid Akram, the 50-year-old father who had just carried out the nation's deadliest terror attack, was a licensed member of a gun club. He legally owned at least 6 firearms. Police believe the very weapons he used in the attack were acquired completely legally, under Australia's strict post-Port Arthur gun laws. And the story got worse. His son, Navid, was not unknown to authorities. He had been on the radar of ASIO, Australia's National Intelligence Agency, since 2019. He was known for his close association with a radical preacher and was a documented friend of a self-declared ISIS commander. And yet, he had been officially assessed as not being an immediate threat. Just weeks before the attack, the father and son had travelled to the Philippines for nearly a month, where police now believe they received military-style training. The fallout from these revelations was immediate and severe. The National Cabinet unanimously agreed to dramatically strengthen gun laws, aiming to close the loophole that allowed a licensed recreational shooter with extremist connections to amass an arsenal. The community, meanwhile, responded with profound unity. When the National Blood Service put out a call for donations, nearly 50,000 people registered in the following days, more than doubling the previous national record. And the unarmed hero, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, was praised by leaders around the world. But the fact remains, a man who the system deemed a responsible, law-abiding gun owner carried out an atrocity. He was a licensed sportsman with a hidden, hateful ideology. His son was a known radical who was allowed to slip through the cracks. This case exposed a fatal blind spot in the nation's defences, proving that even the strictest laws are only as strong as the system that enforces them. Thank you for joining me for this incredibly difficult and important story. It is a powerful testament to both the worst of humanity and the very best. If this story mattered to you, please consider subscribing my channel Truly Chilling. We're very close to reaching 500 subscribers, and your support helps me continue sharing these important stories. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.